Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DENSI podcast episode number 10. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panelists on the line here tonight. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And just a reminder, if you have Google Plus open in the background, if you could shut that down, that'd be great, or else we're going to get the podcast starting over again, and we'll hear ourselves twice. And
wait 1 second. Wait. Do that.
Wait. So, like I said, we have 6 people on the line tonight. So I'm going to start with Chris, and if you could just introduce yourself, tell us who you are, where you're from, and how many times you've been to Summer Institute.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm from Sterling Heights, Michigan. I teach in Detroit, Michigan, where I teach middle school science. Last summer was my first Summer Institute over in Vermont, and I loved every moment of it. Can't wait to go back this summer.
All right, thank you for joining us, Chris. Dennis?
Hi, I'm Dennis Grice, capital D-E-N, and I teach at St. John's Lutheran School in Orange, California, home of Anaheim Denapalooza of Orange on September 13th.
All right, Dennis, I like your shirt as well.
I did not want to feel left out.
All right, Lauren.
Hi, I am Lauren Thurman. I'm from Pensacola, Florida, and I work for the Escambia County School District. I'm an instructional technology teacher, so I coach and mentor and work with teachers and tech coordinators out at the school. And this is my first time to come to the DEN, but I've been serving as a lead teacher for the DEN Star Ambassador program in our district. So I'm very excited to come and meet with some people that I've been networking with online and meet them in person and to start planning for next year for our second phase of it.
Very good. The Ambassador program is a great program. Lauren here was also a Ambassador lead this year, so Lauren, we're very happy to have you. We'll go to Lindsay.
Hey everyone, my name is Lindsay Morhart. I'm from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada, and I teach, not sure what I teach next year, but I'm also the vice principal. And this will be my third Summer Institute. I went to Vermont last year and Montana the year before.
Let's send it over to Patti.
But I've been serving as a...
Hey, I'm Patti Grammens, and I am from Georgia, and I teach, yay Georgia, and I teach physical science in 8th grade, and I have been to all but the first Summer Institute.
Wow. All right. So that is your person to go to, everyone. And Sue.
So I am Sue, and I am a school librarian in DeKalb County School District, and I've never been to Summer Institute, and I'm really excited about the DEN and this conference. And I have some initiatives underway right now with Nexus tablets, Nexus 7 tablets in the library. So I'll be focusing on what can I learn from Discovery and what can I learn about, the Google Classroom is where I'm heading for right now.
Right. Laura, I did not give you the chance to introduce yourself, if you would.
Okay, my name is Laura Murphy, and I work at Woodbury Elementary School in Irvine, California, which is just a smidgen south of Dennis. And I'm their technology teacher. I teach, like, everything that has to do with technology because I'm awesome.
For sure, for sure.
Oh,
Laura.
Let's see. I've been to 3 Summer Institutes, so I guess this one will be my 4th one.
All right, thank you, Laura. All right, Patti, I'm going to come to you with the first question of the night. Patti, what is just one? I know that I'm sure there's a lot, but what's one kind of aha moment you've had at Summer Institute, or one thing you kind of take away from Summer Institute that you could share with our new attendees? All right, Dennis, let's go to you on that question.
What is one thing? I'm sorry, I was waiting for Patty's answer and I lost the question.
Oh, I didn't hear
I wasn't paying attention.
All right, so the question is, what's kind of one thing you can share about Summer Institute with a new person?
Am I going or is Patti going?
It doesn't matter.
All
Go
right.
for it, Dennis.
Wow, this is going well. I apologize. I think one thing that I think we wanted to have these shirts made up. Dennis, I did not come here to sleep because you will want to maximize your time, the networking opportunities, and just all the people that you want to talk to. It's like, why would I waste time sleeping when I can be having conversations with all these awesome people and learning? And you don't want the learning to stop. And it's just a fantastic experience. And I've been to 5 summer institutes. So.
Wow.
All right. Thank you, Dennis. Patty, you've had some time to think about it.
Yeah. I didn't hear you the first time. There was something garbled in the background, but I think that just making contacts that we can talk to the whole year, and the best part about the Summer Institute for me is that it really recharges my batteries for the next year, so that next year I can start off fresh and excited about teaching and using DEN resources to teach. And there's just so much information. It is information overload. I think if there's one thing I could tell the new people is to spend time each evening just kind of going over the great new things that you've learned and maybe jotting them down or making sure you've got contacts, because it's just so much to learn in such a small amount of time.
All right, thank you, Patty. Chris, what about you? One kind of takeaway from Summer Institute you can share?
Well, I think it's simply the best professional development experience I've ever been through, ever been working with. The amazing people, amazing places, and amazing things that we get to do just make it a wonderful experience.
All right, thank you, Chris. Lindsay.
Hello.
Hello. What's one takeaway you've had from Summer Institute?
Sorry. One takeaway. I'm going to say, I know it's probably been said on every single one of these. I mean, aside from the learning, it's the people. For me, even like this year, in February, I went down to LA and I got to hang out with Dennis and Brandon and Laura, and so and Janita. So I think Discovery just does a really good job of bringing people together and then keeping them in touch throughout the whole year, kind of as was mentioned before. It really is great. So you can just have all these amazing people at your fingertips, basically.
Laura, one thing Lindsay just brought up was the people at Summer Institute and really within the DEN. What's one experience that you've had with someone you've connected with that maybe you wouldn't have if it wasn't for the DEN?
Well, I guess I would say like this year I have a new roommate because of last year's DEN. I really connected with Rachel Yerk from Wisconsin, and we've been video chatting on the side. We send messages to each other randomly. Sometimes they'll be serious about actual school stuff, and sometimes they'll be about like what my costume is going to be for this year's Summer Institute, and but just that kind of stuff where you want to talk to people, and you find new ways, and then of course I met you at last year's institute, but I had met you before, but you joined my district, so now we've gotten to be able to do even more things, and just like the proximity has helped with, what am I even saying?
I don't know.
with being able to connect more, I guess.
I have something to add to that, Brandon.
Go for it.
And I think this is a comment that I made after my first DEN Institute, and it was really what opened me up to like a national network of education professionals. I mean, before the Summer Institute, I mean, I knew people like in my own county, in my own district, and was involved in events there. But I mean, my network just expanded to the whole country and eventually to Canada, and it's really cool. And it kind of freaked people out at my school, when I'd come back with, they'd ask me about something. It's like, well, I don't know, but let me contact my friend Tom in Florida, who knows, or let me contact my friend Rachel in Wisconsin, who knows that, or you guys need to know a mystery Skype. I know a handful. I can name off a whole bunch of people. It's like, okay, these people would go for it at any time, and it's just kind of really cool to have these national, global connections.
For sure. All right, Lauren, I'm going to come to you and Sue next with any questions that you have so far for our experts that are here with us tonight about Summer Institute or something maybe you're nervous for or anything like that. Lauren?
Okay, I will make it quick. I have two things. First of all, I'm wondering, I noticed on the schedule there is some time when there's an unconference, so I'm assuming that we're going to be working together in teams or getting things together to share. plan and share in the unconference. And I'm wondering if there's anything that I should prepare to be ready to work on that, or anything that I bring with me that would help. That's the first question. The second question is a little bit silly. It sounds like it's going to be a blast to do the themed party night with the music costumes, and I'm just wondering how mild or how really big time out people go with their costumes for the final party.
Everything about music with Summer Institute, I go right over to Chris. So Chris, do you want to answer the music question there and dressing up for the social night?
Pretty much anything goes. There was a wide range of costume characters last time. Everything from a functioning camera to, I believe we had Kid Rock there, and the band Wrong Direction made an appearance as well.
Don't forget the B-52s.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis or Patty, would you care to answer the question about the unconference on what Sue or what Lauren can expect for that, and if she needs to prepare anything?
Well, first of all, I would ask Lauren. Lauren, have you ever been to an ed camp or anything?
Yes.
Okay. The unconference is pretty much modeled after the ed camp model, which you start with suggestions of either I'd like to share about or I'd like to learn more about, and it's not like you have to have anything really prepared, but be willing to lead a conversation on that or facilitate a conversation on that. Okay. And we had one session, for example, on iPads, and someone says, we're going to be getting iPads in my district. I want to know how to use them. And people just sort of showed up in an area. We met, and everyone just kind of went around the room and shared ideas of how they're implementing iPads in their school.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's the best thing about the unconference is that it is so, geared to what people really want to know and learn about at that time. So that's the best thing about it.
Wasn't there a massage competition last year at the unconference? I'm hoping it makes a return.
Our in-studio guest Laura Murphy was involved in that.
Yeah.
How did that come about, Laura?
So we and another Wisconsin person, Rita Mortensen, I don't know. We talked about massages because people were like getting tense. I think the stress of learning so much, it like builds up in people's necks or whatever. And then I was giving someone a massage and they were talking about how good it was. And then Rita was giving someone a massage because she's got to one up people. That's sort of her way. And then it just sort of turned into like a competition. And unfortunately we were dead even. So I think we have to have it this year just to see if
unfinished business
to break the tie,
break the tie, or to see if we are actually even.
I voted for you, Laura, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Lindsay, can you talk about the we have the unconference, then there's kind of like the unconference where people are just sitting around and all of a sudden just start meeting. Can you kind of talk about what that's like?
Yeah, I'm really good at that part. So basically people just you'll just find people sitting everywhere, and it just happens. All of a sudden you strike up a conversation, you just start learning together out in the hallway, and it might not be a session, it might have been a session, you might have walked out of one because you didn't like it, and you run into someone and you start talking, and I find a lot of great conversations happen that way over dinner, just in the lobby at the university. It's unplanned, but it usually ends up leading to something pretty exciting. So, don't feel like you have to sit in sessions, because a lot of those times, a lot of the great learning opportunities happen outside of them as well. So.
There's a lot of organic learning opportunities where it's like, you know what, here's this new tool. I don't know how to use it. You don't know how to use it. Let's just work and get a bunch of people together and play with it and figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Sue, let's head over to you for any questions or concerns that you have about Summer Institute coming into it as a first-year attendee.
Yeah, well, my big concern is really I'm no good with costumes, and costume stuff just stresses me out to the max. I mean, you have no idea how much I ran around once for an 80s costume for Podstock. I kind of hate it. It's just not me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have some family, the Kenyan woman, she's in Kenya right now, but she's really good with costumes. She's a parent, so she's going to maybe come back and help me if she can get back into the country in time to put something together. That's how stressed out I am about it.
Does
Sue,
anyone
don't
want to?
stress out. I'll help you with that.
Well,
I'll be
Patty,
your Georgia contact. Just let me know.
we have to start next week because, you know, that's my week that I have before we start all this conference schedule. We have ISTE coming up. There's a lot of stuff coming up, right? Here,
That's right.
Yep.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, the
So
costume's not a big deal. It's just
Yeah.
a fun thing. So
Does anyone want to share what their costume might be for this year? A couple of maybe costume spoiler.
Not allowed. I've been sworn to secrecy.
where's the fun in that?
I don't know.
Can't tell you that.
All right. Lindsay, tell us about your costume last year and how pretty much basic it can be.
Last year, me and Dean Shareski, who's the Canadian community manager, we wore rider jerseys. The Saskatchewan Rough Riders are our Canadian Football League team. So we wore a rider hat, a rider jersey, and then we had these big rider flags. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
What was the thing?
You might go a little bit more elaborate, like Dennis Grice. Dennis, share with us what your costume was last year.
Well, unbeknownst to me, Cheryl Woline and I both came, since she's from Orlando area, I'm near Anaheim, we both came as tacky Disney tourists, complete with the wild shirt, sandals and black socks, you know, cameras and all the buttons, the crazy pin trading people. And it was, yeah, I credit my sister with that. You know, she works for Disney and said, handed me this bag and said, "Here, I will not give this to you unless you promise to wear everything in it." and it worked. So I thanked her. I'm not sure how this year is going to turn out yet. So we'll see.
I want to kind of talk about all of your Summer Institute stories. How you first came to hear about Summer Institute and why you chose to apply. We'll go with Patty first, and then Lindsay, Dennis, Lauren, Sue, and Chris. So, Patty, why did you when did you first hear about Summer Institute, and why did you want to apply? The very first.
Yeah, it started out that Georgia Public Broadcasting was working with Discovery Ed, and so I had some friends that were there, and we all decided to apply to the Institute, and I just wanted to learn more. I'm always looking to find a summer opportunity where I can learn something, you know, for the next year. So that was really why I started.
Sorry, that's our Amber Alert going off on my phone. I'll just mute my microphone until it stops.
All right. Lindsay, your first hearing of DENSI and why you chose to apply.
Yeah, well, we had maybe been using Discovery for a couple years in our school division. And actually, you know what, even when I applied, I really had no idea what I was getting myself into. It was zip it. It was actually the first year that Canadians were invited to come, and so it was fun. You know, I mean, I feel like, you know, my superintendent kind of pointed me in the direction, you know, you should apply for this, and so I did, and it was great.
Lauren?
This is the first year our school district has had Discovery Ed, and so Hayden has been down in our county several times this year. We've met with them through the getting the ambassador program going, and we did the VertCon was live, sponsored by Discovery at our county, and we had over 70 some people that came, and we've just spent a lot of time with Hayden, and she has continued. There's one other person that is co-facilitating, or a lead teacher with me, and Hayden just has really encouraged us to apply, and so we did, and we're very excited. And so many times there's not money for travel, and I know a lot of times we do it on our own, but our district, because of what we were doing after hours and all, we just kind of went to them and said, you know, we would, it's awesome that Discovery provides this training for the, you know, the time together, collaboration time, learning time with people. For it's covered, it's free for us if we apply, and we just said, you know, we need somebody to pay for the transportation, and so we're very fortunate that we're so happy that we're accepted, and what an opportunity. We're so excited to have the time to learn so much, and then to do planning also for what we're going to implement next year.
All right. Dennis.
Well, before I share my thing, I do have the photo of Lindsay's image costume from last year. So you can see the green Rough Riders thing. So I just had to share that out. So
Thanks, Dennis.
yeah, you're welcome. I'm sure I'll pay for that later. But why did I apply this year? I'm addicted. I mean, it's like I need that face-to-face time, and that's what gives me my energy for the next school year. You know, it's definitely an inspirational, refueling time. It's awesome to spend an entire week with amazing educators who get it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just really energizing, inspiring, and it's what I need to refuel over the summer so I can last through the doldrums of March and April.
All right, Chris, what was your first experience with applying for Summer Institute, and why was that?
Well, last year it was kind of funny. I was interested in going, but I kept putting it off, and I ended up applying at sort of the last minute. I want to say it was within an hour or two of the deadline. And literally threw the iPhone on a tripod and shot the video and said, okay, I've applied. And then when I got in and experienced it, it's something that I'm going to apply all the time now. It was a changer for me. It, like Dennis said, it helps get through March and the April and the January and the I'm still in school until next week moments that make it sometimes a challenge.
All right, thank you, Chris. And Sue, what was your reasoning for applying for Summer Institute?
You know, our district contracted with Discovery for 3 years of professional development a few years ago. And I guess some of you might know Jenny Callwise?
Yes.
Some of you, many of you. And Jenny, I love Jenny. And she came to do our training, and I love Jenny. Anyway, but she had mentioned it. You know, she had explained it to us, how it would be this great opportunity. And so, you know, that was my inspiration. And then I was always tied up with other, you know, things and, you know, renovations and things like that. And then when it was in Nashville, it was the first time I've applied. I mean, because I can drive there. Yeah. You know, I thought I would throw my hat into the ring to apply because I'm hearing a lot of what you all say resonates with me. You know, we're all kind of like, you know, birds of a feather, and it's hard to find people like that. They just want to be talking about the stuff all the time. So, yeah, so Jenny is my inspiration, and I'm so excited to be going. But there's a lot of unknown unknowns, which is why I have no questions. I'm not sure exactly what I would ask about because I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. So,
the questions you don't know until you don't know them.
Yeah.
Well,
that was really brilliant. And by the way, I do want to acknowledge and thank you, Brandon, for his assistance in my application video this year. I appreciated your help with that. So, well, and I think, and you're the reason I made it in. You are the wind beneath my video.
I think it was because of all your Canadian shout-outs.
Dennis, you are my lucky penny. All right. I want to share a couple of resources with you guys. We had Leanne on the other couple episodes ago, and she was one of the founders behind DENSI2014.com for all your DENSI resources. Head to DENSI2014.com, and also for everything Den, head to dencommunity.com. All right, I want to give everyone one last, word or two of encouragement before you go, as we're about to sign off here. Let's start with Lindsay coming to us from Little Chicago up there in Moose Jaw. Lindsay, a couple parting words from you tonight.
Well, I need something different from last time. I was hoping you would come to me last. I said in the last one, pace yourself, because the first year I went to everything. I didn't take any breaks, and then I was just, kind of almost a zombie by the end of the time. And then last year I picked things and focused a bit more rather than spreading myself so thin. I picked things that I knew I could maybe really use or get deeper into. So that would be my advice.
Patti, what's kind of like your last couple of words here tonight?
I would say pick your close connections. Look for those people that you really can connect with and correspond with over the year, and it will make the experience very meaningful.
All right. Sue, anything you want to add at the end here?
Oh, so I was wondering, Lindsay, how do you do that, what you just said? Get more focused and not spread yourself so thin. Is that going to less things or being more focused on the things you study?
Both. I didn't go to as many sessions. I spent a lot of more time kind of, the first year they kind of called it like a blogger's cafe. Last year it was just kind of by the fireplace. I spent a lot of time out there and just really picked the things that I knew I could do when I got back to my school, or that I could do well, or that I had the time to, or the interest to look into a lot more.
So maybe use that time, like if you had some downtime, absorbing what it was, just kind of taking it all in and just
Exactly.
focusing. Okay. Nice. That's great advice.
All right, Lauren, anything from you wrapping up tonight?
I think looking forward to, when you go to a conference and go to session, and you get back and you get really busy and you didn't ever practice and try those things. Really want to focus on some things that I know that I can use, or that I can share with teachers, that can be implemented with what we have, making best use of what we have, the technology in our rooms, and then spend time while I'm there starting to use it, so I really get to know the tool and know how to share it when I get back.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. Chris, any last words from you?
Work on being digitally prepared. Make sure all your devices have cords and chargers and the batteries and everything that you need, so that you don't have any downtime due to technical difficulties.
All right, and I'll give the last word to the man with the best pictures in the background there, who himself got a new power cord for his laptop. Dennis, what you got for us?
Bring a power strip. You will make many friends.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight and helping us out with this podcast. And thanks again to Laura for driving over and being an in-studio guest. And thank you to Discovery Education for Discovery Educator Network, Summer Institute, and for all things DEN. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for